Femdom Mystique listeners. We are here today with two of my favorite ladies, Elena De Luca.
Hi.
And McCord.
Hello.
And I love these ladies. They are so fresh. They have a great sense of humor. They're two of my favorite fellow dominatrix. They have great talent. And over the next half hour, we're going to get to know them a little bit better and learn a bit of their history and why they decided to choose this career. So, Elena, would you tell my listeners a little bit about yourself?
I have been a pro dom based in New York City for almost a decade. I lost track on the exact number of years. And I specialize in behavior modification. I also travel and I run 2 Clipster sales stores, Elena De Luca Fetish and POV, and Fascist Femdom, which is a military-themed site. It's all about femdoms doing whatever the hell they want to do.
And we had a great time this afternoon filming for Fascist Femdom.
Yes,
it was fantastic. Thank you for having me as your guest.
Thank you for being a part of it.
We had a great time.
Welcome to my army.
You are so... Yes, welcome. I'm honored.
It's good to be the dictator.
And this is your second in command?
Yes,
Major General Megan McCord?
Major General Megan McCord.
Major General
She's
Megan
Black
McCord.
Stiletto Army.
Yes, she runs the Black Stiletto Army for me because it's hard being a dictator.
It's the power.
Do everything.
It's a lot of work. You really need to delegate.
Yeah, exactly.
So, Major General,
Yes.
would you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, I got into professional domination probably about 8 years ago, I think. But I've been lifestyle most of my life. I actually grew up in the lifestyle. And I hadn't thought about doing it professionally until I actually met a submissive on Match.com of all places.
Wow.
Well, I'm 6'2", so submissives naturally find me, I guess, especially ones who are interested in Amazons. And he was obsessed with a place called Pandora's Box, which is, I think, the oldest dungeon in New York City. And I thought, well, let me give it a shot. And I went in for an interview, and well, the rest is history. But I've been independent for about 3 years, three and change.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was a house dom for way too long. I learned a lot. But there's something about running your own business that's so much better.
It's completely different being independent.
Yeah.
I went independent after 2 years.
I should have done that.
And loved it. Never looked back.
Yeah. There's something to be said for the house, being in a house though, and having that dom sisterhood and the training. That's great, but I don't think anybody should be a lifetime house dom.
I agree.
After
Start
2
with
years,
the
you should go
houses.
out on your own.
Yeah, start with the houses and then move out and get your own, start your own, be an independent businesswoman.
It's good to learn because there are so many opportunities because there are so many other mistresses, so you can see all different styles and all different ways of doing things. But after 2 years, you're just wasting your time. You're treading water for no reason.
Yeah.
And giving your money away.
Giving your money to someone else for no reason.
Right, giving your money away. No. And where did you start, Elena?
I started at the Dungeon of Mistress Jasmine, which is now, I think it's called Donatella Den.
Donatella Den, yeah.
Not Donatella's Den, right? That would make more sense.
I think just Donatella Den, yeah.
The grammatically incorrect Donatella Den is the new name. But I got my start there, and I was there for about 9 months. And then I moved on to another dungeon called Le Salon d'Assad, which is no longer in existence. But there you were sort of half and half. You were half independent. You were doing your own independent stuff, but also a house girl. So it was a great stepping stone. And after a little under a year, I think, I went fully independent from there. So.
And never looked back.
Yeah, never looked back. Went, wow, this is so great, handling my own business completely. So
be able to choose the clients and the submissives that you want to interact with,
yes,
and your specialties,
which is a really wonderful thing.
Yes,
instead of just having the manager bark get dressed at you.
Yes, I hated that.
And going in blind, and not really knowing what kind of session.
Or the 3 a.m. calls because someone wants to sniff your feet. And I'm like, I'm in bed, I'm not coming.
Yeah.
I once had a manager be like, listen, in 2 hours you have a 3-hour bondage session. I was like, I don't know bondage, and she tossed a book at me and went, well, you better learn.
Oh my god!
The guy never
That's
showed,
safe.
but I spent the next 3 hours sitting there tying knots by myself. I was like, I don't know what to do. Tying my ankle, going, all right then.
It works. Well, you've come a long way since then.
Yes, that was. I think I'd been at this about 2 or 3 months at that point. I
you're
was
like,
like,
deer in
sink or
headlight.
swim.
So why don't each of you tell me a little bit, and my listeners, about your specialties? Pick who goes first.
Lana.
All right, look at you.
We're going left to right.
There we go.
I was like, if
Right
this
to
were
left,
video,
sorry.
they would have seen that I told you first.
Specialties, ladies.
My specialties, for me, it's all about the power exchange mainly, but I do enjoy inflicting pain. I am a sadist. So for me, it's basically, it varies by my mood, what I enjoy doing the most. So I specialize generally, as far as my fans are concerned, I tend to specialize in corporal punishment. Come in. Sorry, my puppies can come sit with us.
Yes, we have a special guest for this podcast.
Yeah, this is my dominant Sir Lord Master Mogwai.
And he
is a
downs all of us.
6.5-pound Yorkie.
He will give his loves by force if necessary.
Yes. And I am nothing but a belly rub delivery service to him.
And yes, and then we all joined the Mugwai bitches.
Yes,
as I've
it was
discovered.
Mommy's House of Bitches. Yes. Pandora's was his East Coast location
It
for a
was.
while.
It was,
He had a
yeah.
West Coast location as well.
So he's dual coast.
Yes,
Wow.
yes, he's a jet set puppy. He
gets around. All right, so specialties.
I specialize generally in corporal punishment and behavior modification. I specialize in behavior modification, but most people read that as corporal punishment. I read that as anything that will modify a behavior.
All right.
So that's why for me it's all about the power exchange, which can be in all different capacities and all different components. And, everyone's like, you're into punishments. That means you're going to hit people. And I'm like, not necessarily. If they enjoy it, that's not a punishment.
Correct.
So I'm...
Punishing a masochist makes absolutely no sense.
Exactly.
Yes.
I
You
hate
can do
being
it,
like-
though.
Oh, yeah.
You can totally punish
can
a
find a way.
masochist. You can
Yes, it
find
just
a way.
depends on how.
You have them walk around in one high heel shoe for an hour.
For an hour.
Yeah.
Or stick them in a corner and don't touch them.
Yeah. Or if they show up late because they got in trouble for drunk driving, just make their session, tie them down, and then read them the chapter from the driver's manual on driving under the influence.
I love that. That's
If you reach
so
the end,
creative.
start again from the beginning.
Love it. But Mistress, I want you to hit me. Too bad.
Yeah, you were 3 hours late because you got a DUI.
Not
I don't like
happening.
drunk drivers.
You don't get what you want.
No.
So Megan,
Yes.
if you can get out from under Mugwai.
Mogwai, no.
Yes.
He is those.
Yes. Your specialty.
My specialties: corporal, medical, and I love bondage, encasement, sensory deprivation. Those are my 3 favorites. I'm not very verbal in my scenes. If I am, it's more playful. I don't like to be that uber bitchy mistress.
No, neither do I.
I feel like it's a fake. Who I am right now is who you're getting in session, and I feel that's a more authentic way of being. It's just what works for me and my clientele that enjoys sessioning with me. So
I agree.
Yeah.
I've always
agree with you on
personally
that.
felt that the idea that to be a sadist you have to be this angry uber bitch, and I'm like, no, if I'm a sadist, I am genuinely getting joy
Right.
from your pain. So I can't help it. I'm gonna laugh and smile and be like, yay, this is great.
Oh, if I'm giggling,
I
you
am-
know you're doing a good job.
Yeah,
exactly.
And then you're pleasing your mistress.
You're making
if
me
I'm
laugh and I'm
giggling.
smiling. That's a clue, submissives. Listen, there's 3 of us here. If we are smiling and giggling, we are
You're probably
happy.
bleeding.
Right. You're probably
Oh, yeah,
suffering, right.
I have a real blood fetish too. Yeah.
You and I, me casa,
Yeah.
su casa, with the yeah.
And a lot of first time blood sessions, I'll actually take their blood and make art with it and give it to them as a gift
Yeah.
at the end of the session.
Yeah. I have a few of those
Yeah.
blood patterns from my slaves.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Hi, you guys are nicer than me. I'm just like, wow, that sucks for you. You want a diaper to wear so you don't bleed in your pants? Actually, that's the only reason I do aftercare is because I get so much joy out of spraying the alcohol into an open wound. I'm like, here, let me take care of you. Shh.
No, not a natural sadist here at all.
No.
So, you said, Megan, that you started in lifestyle, so I'm going to skip over.
okay.
And tell me a little bit about your experience in the lifestyle versus pro dom. People always wonder, because I'm lifestyle and pro.
Right.
And they always wonder how you balance that.
It's hard. It's definitely hard. And it's funny, when I first started, there was some bitch at PB that, because I came from a lifestyle background, didn't like me. And she said, well, just because you can cook at home doesn't mean you should be a chef. And that's,
Yeah.
I mean, there is
a point in that.
There is
a point in that.
Yeah, there is a point to that, but also I stayed there and worked on my skill set. Coming from a lifestyle, like, my skill set went from 2 to 15 once I went pro, and there were things that I didn't even think of being lifestyle. It was more like bondage and some corporals, so like the whole medical thing and like encasement and all of that didn't even come into play until I became pro. And also once you go pro, it is difficult to balance if you're in a kinky relationship, at least I've found, because you give so much to your client.
Agree.
That oftentimes I just want to come home and be normal.
My husband and I have that problem.
Yeah.
He's a kinky bondage baby, and when I come home from work or from an event or something, and he's like, let's play. I just want to watch Supernatural and put my fluffy bunny slippers on and sit around smoking.
Exactly. So I found that challenging in my last kinky relationship, but I haven't been in a kinky relationship in 3 years. So I'm in a vanilla relationship now, and vanilla's the new kinky for me.
You're having fun exploring this whole vanilla thing, how it goes.
Vanilla sex thing.
You're like, what is this?
I don't know.
Oh, I
but
don't think I can
it's pretty
do
great
vanilla
too.
sex.
You're like, I need a little mix. I
don't think I could do the vanilla thing.
I mean, I get my kink from my sessions and my night flirt and things like that, so I'm fulfilled in that aspect. So sometimes it's nice to just have normal sex. But yeah, it definitely can be wearing on relationships.
Yes.
Which I found once I went pro. So never quite found the perfect balance, which I guess you have.
Well, thank you.
For the most part.
For the most part. Yes,
part.
for the most part. I'm very, very content in my lifestyle and my profession. I have a good, stable, and good husband.
Yeah.
But like you, if I have a 4 to 6 hour session and I come home and I'm home at 8, the last thing I want to do is get dressed and put on latex and tie him up, and sometimes it gets him shortchanged, and that can be a detriment if your partner is kinky as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I never in my personal life put on gear. Never.
Never?
No.
I'm a gear fetish.
Naked or in underwear and a fucking tank top, and that's
I'm a gear
never.
fetish.
I've never been like a fetishist in that way. That I love putting on leather and love
Kind of
putting
fun,
on
though.
It is fun.
I love leather.
It's totally fun,
but it doesn't naturally come up. It's unorganic.
Yeah, it's not organic. It's not my go-to. Like, I need to put on latex to do this. And I want to be comfortable while I hurt you. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of my thing. The great thing about dating a photographer is that, we shoot.
Right. So I get to wear my stuff.
Yeah, and then it quickly devolves usually. This is why we
Let's take this off. Let's take this off.
Yield very few photos, or like you'll see the break between like when my hair looks good and then it doesn't look so good.
So what is the one thing that each of you enjoy about your profession?
It's fun, and I don't have to answer to anyone else, which is really great.
Really good. Really
Yeah.
great being self-employed in some ways. Taxes, not so much.
Yeah, that's part of it.
Yeah.
My accountant is also my dom.
Exactly.
I mean, the pay is pretty good. The hours are flexible, and you get to beat people up.
And we have the best office. We don't have cubicles. We get the best outfits.
Yeah.
I mean, get to wear cool shoes.
Yeah.
So, what do you think about the way the industry has changed? And this is a question I'm going to ask you guys because I'm being a dom for 23 years. I know a lot about how the industry changed, but you guys are kind of mid-career. And so you've seen a different kind of aspect of changes. So how has the industry changed from the time you have started to now, and what do you think about it?
Should I go first on this one?
Yeah, I'll let you go first.
All right. I mean,
I'm like, my brain is like,
We've been shooting all day. She's kind of like,
Yeah,
don't
I'm
ask me
like,
these
and
questions.
I have a lot to say
And
on
you have
this
a lot to
subject.
say about this subject. I know you do.
Yeah, so in the 8 years I've been doing this, I mean, when I started at PB, the owners of PB also put out Vault Magazine, which was the magazine
Yes, it was.
We were
for
talking
clients
about
to
that the other
go
day at lunch.
to find new ladies, and that's how they found Mistresses. Vault doesn't exist anymore.
No.
DDI doesn't exist anymore.
Which is a shame.
Which is a
Really
shame.
sad. Yeah.
Shame it
So
went
there's
that
no
way.
print advertising. It's not, but also like those magazines were collectibles.
Yes, they are. I still have them.
Yes. So it's all online now. It's always, since I've been a dom, there's been online advertising and things like that, and clips for sale. But I think it's just gotten even more so. So that clients, to get their fix, don't necessarily need to do a live session, which is what I prefer because I don't have a clips for sale store.
Correct.
I'll do phone sessions, Skype sessions, and live sessions. But if they need to get their rocks off right then and there, they can go buy a 5-minute clip on fascistfemdom.com.
That for a second you're throwing me into the bus there.
Repeat.
Like,
Fascistfemdom.com.
So they don't necessarily need to do that, to do a live session. Which is frustrating because that's that's the super fun part. There's also in New York, I found in New York and also in LA, women who, or girls, excuse me, they're not women yet because their brains aren't fully formed because they're not even 25. So they're girls.
there's a reason I loved you.
That it's an easy. It's true. Think that it's an easy way to make money without
hate
being
that.
a hooker, and they don't. Like, I have no problem with hookers or escorts.
No,
or,
some of my best friends are hookers and escorts.
Do
It's just not
whatever
for me.
whatever a woman wants to do with her body and she's comfortable with, she should be able to do.
Right.
Not for me, but I just don't like the girls who think that they can poof be an Instadom and don't realize how much time and effort we've put into honing our skills. I mean, I'm still learning things.
I am, and
I
I've
think
been
it's,
doing this forever,
yeah, and I think it's
always learn
important
things.
to always continually learn about this practice. So that's what I find frustrating, and so now the market is saturated.
The
So-
internet has made it very easy for anyone to pop up a profile or a Twitter feed and say, "Hi, I'm a Findom. I'm
Findom,
pretty
yeah.
princess. I'm
And-
Barbie Dommy.
Yeah.
Can send me money
Yeah.
without any." And these, I don't get it.
I don't understand
don't
why
get it.
clients
I think it's-
send them money. I don't
either.
I don't. Do you, Elena?
No,
Okay. I thought you might have insight.
No, I think it's that they love the only reason I could think for why they send them money is that it makes it even more degrading. Because there is a humiliation factor.
So a big
to
humiliation
Finsta.
factor for
So I
them.
think it's even because I have heard subs say that they kind of sometimes when they really want to be degraded, they'll go to that Instadom, that horrible hooker with a whip that's just there is high in session and is wearing jeans and flip flops and just throwing things at them because it's even more degrading than because it's to go to a woman with skill and everything. You feel that a lot of them feel they have to earn that,
They have to
or
earn
they
it.
have
They
to
behave
be
a certain way,
deserving of
deserving,
us.
right.
And so the only reason I could see for that is that it adds a level of humiliation
That totally
because
makes
they're
sense.
aware that they're also going to the worst possible person for this. And the other one is men love tacky. Men love fucking tacky. I can be dressed in head to toe, latex, and do my hair and all and they're like, "Oh, that girl over there in the fur thong and the
Right.
they're like, she's so hot. And look at the money she puts into
Yeah.
her wardrobe, and you're like."
Right.
No.
They're like, oh, she's wearing latex, leather, and satin at the same time, and her shoes have diamonds all over them, her Swarovski
Right.
crystals all
Her
over them.
corset's on upside down.
Her
Corset's
corset's upside down. Yeah.
They're like,
one garter's undone.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
nothing
Fishnets.
attached to
Nothing
the
attached
garters.
to the
Yeah,
garters.
nothing attached.
Yeah.
Yeah, the men love tacky. I've found producing porn. Sometimes I have to pull myself back when I'm getting dressed or when I'm dressing people, and I'm like, why am I putting you in that nice leather corset? No. Let's just do pantyhose. Men love
Pantyhose and a bra.
Pantyhose and a bra.
Put your underwear under the pantyhose too. Let's do that, and then pull the pantyhose all the way up to your bra, basically. Yeah,
I don't understand
with your
that
thong
look.
down there. Yeah, there you go. Like,
yes, I don't understand that look at all. I really don't.
men love it, and then they'll send it to you and be like, "Oh, if only you could dress like this," and you're like, "Fuck you."
I've always prided myself on being
attention.
elegant.
Not happening. Yeah.
No, elegance doesn't sell.
No.
Men
Which
love
is a
tacky.
very big shame.
Yeah.
It's a very, very big shame. There are a very small, minute group of men that do like Elliot. My husband's one of them.
Mm.
He would rather have me fully clad in latex than standing in front of him naked because he's a fetishist and he loves the latex. And he doesn't do tacky. But there's a... They're
I
not,
know, they want you
rare.
dressed. They just want it in tacky.
Yeah.
They just want
But
the
most
cheap,
of 'em-
like, oh God, yeah.
I
like,
don't get it.
They want you to go to
Does-
Rainbow, not La Perla.
Dolce Gabbana, don't do rainbow. Sorry.
They're
No,
like,
this
God,
is a Dolce Gabbana
I love
group
when they'll like
here.
brag to
Conway?
you about the sexy things girls wearing. Yeah, Conway.
Conway.
Like, Conway, I don't know if you have it out in
No, we
Chicago.
don't have Conway.
It's an East Coast thing, and it's like, it's not like Rainbow. It's for the whole family. It's like a Telco or something. Like,
Oh,
it's
Lord.
like it's like basically the dollar store for clothes.
Yeah.
This exists?
Yeah.
Oh, this is
Oh yeah,
scary.
when I worked at Jasmine's, there was one that was right nearby, and that's where everyone got all of their lingerie. It was so terrible.
It was like you
There
and
was
I
a lot
walking
of
and
these,
going,
yeah, it was
"Let's
a
go
lot
to
of
the
these
stripper
like
store."
bras that were attached to underwear by an apron. Like a frilly
yeah,
purple
I hate
apron.
those-
and
yeah, I
I'm like,
hate
that
those
doesn't
things.
look very dominant.
No. No. What about
Your
the...
fishnet body stockings
Throw
not
your
dominant?
yeah, and throw your tutu on top of it, and there you go.
Yeah.
Clearly I've done it wrong.
Yeah. What about the
Doing it
doms
wrong.
that I've seen I know you've seen them as well that have the fishnet stocking or something and then their poses on their knees or on their bed like this and they've got the collar on.
The collar,
Well, that's not very dominant.
Not in my
You
opinion.
know, I don't think there's anything dominant about a collar, like a legit collar. Because
Yeah.
there's some beautiful like posture
Oh,
collars.
there's some
and
beautiful
with the
neck
feathers,
pieces.
But just like a
they're
neck-
neck pieces.
but-
They're not collars.
Right.
Mogwai's gonna go.
Don't mind us, Sir Mogwai is
Mogwai
watching.
He's gotta go greet my
Gotta go
roommate.
greet winner.
Mogwai really doesn't like it when dominant women wear collars. That
That's
Really,
what that
like,
was.
that was it. He had to go. He didn't
Right.
even be here for that conversation.
So what are some of your pet peeves?
Well, one thing I want to say is I'm actually, the woman like posed on the bed. I get it that it's not the most dominant pose, but things like that, I'm like, all right, I get it because it's sexy, and as a dominant woman, you're allowed to. feel
Right.
sexy,
I've done it.
exactly.
When shot
Right.
me, I was on a bed, and I
Right.
thought,
Yeah,
I think it depends on the
I used to hear,
position,
I used
is
to hear
what
the
I'm
rule
trying-
like your head always has to be above your ass, but I'm like, your ass looks great if your head's a little lower.
Right.
If your head's above your ass, then you're just like chilling.
There you go. I'll give you that one. I'll give you
So,
that
like,
one.
we should be sexy and enticing.
Right.
So I'm like, as long as you're not doing things like wearing a collar, spreading your asshole.
There you go.
You know, like you're not offering yourself or showing that you're owned. It's like, we're dominant women. We shouldn't have to follow rules. So I want to do what I do feel makes me look sexy.
Okay,
Great.
so let's talk about that a little bit then. Let's
Okay.
expand on that because I agree with you on that. I think as a dominant woman, if I want to get flogged by my submissive, this is a part of a lifestyle philosophy, where if the dominant wants something and it's a service to them, then the person's still being submissive. It comes from the gay culture. Whereas if the daddy wants to get fisted, he's going to get fisted
It's service
by his boy.
topic.
It's service, exactly. So you have kind of the same concept.
Yeah.
Because we've all been saying things about the fin doms and the hooker doms. So where's that line? Where's that line where it goes from I'm empowering myself, becoming a dominant woman, to the negative and the
As a professional, I've always seen the line for me is legality. And like that's what makes domination different from being a prostitute. And I'm like, go ahead, do both. Just keep them separate. Because if I'm in a dungeon and there's a girl giving a hand job to a cop right now, I'm getting arrested too.
correct.
So it's like,
Yes, you're going to jail.
yeah, I'm going to jail too, and I didn't even know it was happening, and I just happened to be on the premises.
Yeah.
So that's where I've always been like, do what you're gonna do, just separate it. Keep them separated. Like, if you want to do more porny things, even like in your videos, like if you want to do porn and you want to do femdom porn, open to clip stores. You know,
Right.
do like on my personal clip store, the Elena De Luca Fetish and POV, I don't really have any strap-on scenes. There's like 1 or 2 just from like when I'm doing trade with someone, if that's what they want to do. Like, sure, I'm open to it, you know. There's 1 or 2, but I don't really do it. But on Fascist Femdom's a little different. I'm like, women can do whatever the hell they want to do.
And we did this afternoon.
Yes. So I'm like, if you want, like, and that's why I'm okay with female submissives on there versus on my other site. It's all about keeping a line of separation if you're going to go outside of the bounds. Because most of my career, I was very much always told that, like, you had to follow, there were a lot of rules that dominants had to follow.
Yes, we had a lot of rules.
Yeah, and it's a lot of things that I wasn't allowed to do.
Old people have a lot of rules. You're not supposed to do this, yes.
Yeah, and I always stuck to it for a long time, and then eventually I was like, why am I following so many rules if I'm like, this is what I want to do, you know, in my way, and that's why I'm like, I made the separation of having a second store and, like, putting that in a different place. And then I'm very vocal on my with my public persona, like my social network and stuff, that what I might do on video is not something you're ever gonna get.
Right.
And for me, that's also part of it because I'm really into cuckolding. So it's also the, like, yeah, wasn't that great that I totally did this scene with this other girl and, like, we were making out and, like, we're topless. Yeah, I'm totally not going to take my top off here with you, though.
Exactly. Why would you expect that?
Oh, that's really cute. No, that's not going to happen for you. Like,
Right.
You think you deserve it? No.
Yeah. All right, that makes good sense. What about you?
I mean, me, it's a separation between personal life and professional life.
Okay.
You know, I don't, and I've done more things as I've grown in this profession, you know, in terms of pictures and things like that. But, you know, there's a very definitive line. It's also the legality thing, as Elena mentioned. You know, I don't switch in my professional life. I have, on occasion, in my personal life, I identify as a top that likes to get hit.
Really?
So, yeah. No. Yeah.
I'm like, I'll beat you.
Hi, honey.
It's scaring me.
Hi,
But I would never
podcast over.
Hi, guys. Gotta go.
But I would never do that in my professional life. It's just, you know, I would never do that with a stranger. And I mean, kudos to the clients who do walk into a room and I've never met them and they trust me to do that to them. I could never do that to somebody. I just
Right.
couldn't. And I, for me, again, I want to live my professional and personal life the way I want to. And there are certain things, as you said, in the old guard, like when I met Isabella Sinclair, she mentioned that when she's classically trained, and so that, you know, you never put more than one knee on the floor because that's a sign of submission.
Right.
And I was like, oh, I've done that. I did a scene at a party once where my slave, I partially suspended him and then attached. I partially suspended him so his feet were kind of sort of on the floor, and but he was stepping on tinfoil. And then I took a TENS unit and attached one pad to his foot and one pad to the tinfoil and turned on the power.
Ooh, I like that idea.
And then there was another dom who was caning him. And so, I mean, I was just turning the knobs and my feet hurt, so I sat on the floor. And the whole room was full watching us. It was a really beautiful, amazing scene. And after it was over, one of the lifestyle male doms, Powder, came over to me. He was like, "You're the only dom that I know that can be dominant while sitting on the floor." And it's
I
like,
sit on the floor because I'm tired. I'm going
tired.
to.
My feet hurt. I was just turning the knobs
exactly.
and watching, you know, my slave jump up and down and scream. And you know, but for classically trained doms,
We don't put both knees on the
you
floor.
would never do that. But I just don't really give a fuck.
Give a fuck.
Which did it in the class. That's why she brought it
That's
up.
why she
Because
brought it
like,
up, yeah.
she was doing a mummification thing and she got down on both of these. She was like, I know this is wrong. I'm not supposed to do this. And she's like, but I know who the fuck I am and I know I'm not a submissive.
There you go.
She was like, I'll continue to do this.
And I do it. I do
Yeah.
it. And I do it if I'm doing, you know, like you said, CBT, that I have to get down there and see, or I'm tying their ankles or something. And I will look at them and say, don't ever think you're going to get anything down here because I'm in this position. It doesn't change my dominance.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
But I was trained the same way, where you put one knee and keep one knee up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't do that, but you know what?
My knees hurt, so
Right.
You know, it's and also all because I'm so tall. Then when I put on heels, I'm a good 6'6". Yeah, in the tall boots, I'm 6'9".
Amazon scenes, boys. New York
Height
boys.
comparison.
Yep.
Yeah.
Height comparison.
Megan.
So most of the equipment in the dungeons that I rent from are not made for people.
Right, so you
as tall as
have
me.
to.
So I have to take off my fucking shoes
Right.
because I can't.
I have to climb on everything.
I know you.
Megan and I are a foot apart.
Good couple there. You guys
5'2",
work well
6'2",
together.
yeah. Yeah, we lived together for a bit, and the only thing I know how to make is pasta, and she went away for a weekend, and she cleaned, and she put my pasta on the top shelf in the cabinet, and then
Did you do that on purpose?
I did it.
She realized, like, on her way out, like, oh, crap, she's gonna starve to death while I'm gone. She texted me, I was like, I got a chair. On the second day, I ordered it in the first
You
day.
ordered it the first day, right? Takeout, please.
Yeah, I was like, oh god, my food is all the way up there.
I don't know what to do.
We did the beatdown two dom-coms ago. So I'm 6'9". We did a
In
five dom 3-sleeve beatdown scene.
How fun.
And Blackula shot it, and I still had my shoes on, and Elena took her shoes off. And rewatching the video afterwards, like seeing Blackula try to get both of us in, because we're standing next to each other, trying to get both of us in the frame at the same time while we're wailing on
more
this
than a
guy.
foot and a half on me
Right.
with her
Yeah.
7-inch heels
he's
on.
like,
It's
with the camera
it's
going.
hilarious.
Yeah.
We're like, oh, Blackula's really trying hard on that
yeah,
one.
he's really like
really
he's pulling
fucked him
back.
over.
He's tilting the camera.
Good boy. No, I think it's wonderful because, we grew up, Isabella, Wynter, Irene, a bunch of us. We grew up with a lot of rules.
Yeah.
We grew up with a lot of, you don't do this, you do this is the way you do, this is the way you move, you don't make this movement, and so it's kind of ingrained in our brain that this is the way it is. And you guys are breaking the rules. You guys are not breaking the rules.
Don't hate us.
No.
Sorry.
Don't apologize, because I think it's a good thing. I think it's a good thing because you're teaching us old dogs new tricks. Not that any of the names I mentioned and my friends are old dogs, because I'll get hit for that. Like, what did you do? Call us old dogs on tape?
I can't believe you called us old dogs.
I know. I'll be like, getting emails. Going.
She said that, not us.
Yeah.
Megan and I are, no, we love you.
We'll be
Great.
adding that. We're adding. Okay.
I mean,
But-
Isabella and Irene are two of the reasons why I got into. They were my idols.
Exactly.
Oh. So.
But you guys are making new ground. You're showing us new tricks and filming and doing things that I normally wouldn't do, stepping out of our box. So it's good because then we continue to grow as mistresses and dominatrix, which, is a good thing because you don't want to be stagnant.
So when you said that, it kind of made me feel like the guy with the van and candy. Like I'm luring all of you in that don't do film.
You are.
Like, come.
You are.
Come, I have this slave. You should do things to him. I'm just going to
good.
film it a little bit. Don't worry.
Don't worry.
Shh, baby, go with it.
Which apparently I did. I was like, okay, we can do this. So it's like, all right. So in regards to submissives in general, both either personal, clients, lifestyles, what is the one thing that annoys the shit out of you? One thing, not a list, ladies, about submissive.
Disregarding our time. Like, disregarding respect for our time.
Expand.
Expecting us to always be, like, on their schedule. Like, when they're horny, they want something, we do it. Like, that idea that, like, they can contact us whenever they want. Or, like, I had a slave that was supposed to shoot with us tonight. I just realized I forgot to cancel it.
So,
Whoops.
So are you
What time is
disregarding?
it? Are we shooting again? I'm like, what time
Disregarding
is
his
it?
time.
Whoopsie.
Because remember earlier we were discussing
But
whether
you
or
can
not
do
to.
that as a dominant woman.
You can do that as a dominant woman.
So I was like, all right, so are you available tomorrow night? And like we discussed time and da-da-da, and like it was all fine. And then I was like, okay, great. And then like proceeds to send me photos. Like, would you mind if I bring this outfit, this hood? And the hood, not only was he wearing a hood, he's wearing a full-on sissy outfit that's like standing or posed Captain Morgan style. Like, and I'm like, I don't care. I'm like, like, yeah, bring your own mask. No, did you see the photo though? Are you okay with it? It has pigtails. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. I'm like, just fucking bring your mask. I'm
Right.
like, and then like, oh, what else do you want me to do? Mistress, which color socks should I wear? Like, I don't give a fuck which color. And like, clearly I'm in the midst of, yeah.
You don't micromanage.
I don't. I feel that they should just, I'm like, learn when you're in my presence. When you're not in my presence, you're not serving me yet.
Correct.
If we're talking online, you're not, like, this is not a thing. I gave you a job. Do that. Mm-hmm. Simple as that. Don't fucking be like, so how curly should my hair be while I do it? Like, I don't give a flying fuck.
Just
I'm
do
not
the
looking
job.
at you. You have a purpose. That's it. I don't give a fuck about anything else. And then when you're in person, anticipate my needs.
That's a hard one.
Yeah, and I'm like, but you'll learn from spending time with me in person. Because online it's totally different, or like over the phone it's totally. And like, I'm doing 10 million other things. I'm not focused on you right now.
Right.
I am like, this is me. Like, and this slave has been with me. He's been my cameraman. He's been on shoots with me, and has like watched me like do my whole process and everything. And I'm like, clearly I'm doing 10 other things if I'm
So you
sending
should be
you a
able to
DM
figure
right
out
now.
how to take care of me and anticipate
Exactly.
what I need, and
You
not being a
should-
dumbass.
Or at least just be like, yes, mistress, thank you. And then show up at the appointed time. If I want more from you, I'd fucking tell you. If I had specific wardrobe requirements, I'd tell you.
Right there is a key. Is a key. I'm going to get to your
I have things to say on the subject.
Right there is a key, and a lot of submissives, even as a lifestyle mistress, do not get that one key component, which is, if there's more I want you to do, I will tell you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Do what I tell you first, and then if there is more, I will tell you. If you don't understand my first command, you may be an idiot, but ask me. All right?
Yeah.
Ask me then. Oh my goodness, we're being joined. How wonderful.
Are we drinking? Is that what's happening?
No, we are also
podcasting.
podcasting. We are podcasting. So come in, fellow Femdom Mystique listeners. We have been joined by one of my great friends, Mistress Wynter of New York City. Hello, Mistress Wynter.
Hello, everybody.
Yes, she's just joining us now in the. So we're asked. I asked the ladies. Ouch. What one thing about submissives annoys them. So Elena was doing hers. Now we're
Not
going
a
to
list.
Megan.
We're only allowed to give one.
Only one.
Not a list.
list. So
Not
you
a
have to think about
list.
one. So
I already got mine. What's yours?
okay, Megan, your turn. Let's go.
Dom hopping do me subs. They say, "Oh, mistress, I want to serve you. I want to serve you," and then you come to find out that they're also emailing your friend, and you two happen to be sitting next to each other.
We had that.
The same.
just had that.
Oh, I've had that happen on numerous occasions.
So many
And
times.
the same copy and paste email, or a lot of them will follow me on Twitter. I mean, this one motherfucker has been trying to serve me for years. And I look at his Twitter, and his whole Twitter feed is him tweeting at other doms. Can I serve you? You look beautiful. What can I want to be your cuckold. Can I drive you anywhere? And I'm like, what are you doing?
Right.
Like,
Trying
you
to see
wanna
what sticks like spaghetti.
Yeah. It's like there's nothing special about me. You just want a dom to serve, and every time, nine of the 10 things that I've given him to do over the past 6 years, he hasn't done.
Right.
And then it's like it's mostly driving. So I'm like, okay, fine. You want to serve me? I need to go to the airport at this time. Oh no, I couldn't possibly take you to the airport. 2 DomCons ago, this motherfucker, he was supposed to pick me up at midnight. My flight got in. My flight was an hour delayed. I texted him before we took off, and he was like, "Oh, I have to work tomorrow. I'm on the plane."
Oh my god.
And I was like, "Motherfucker, don't ever talk to me again."
Right.
Called my ex. And it was like, can you come pick me up at JFK? He was in Philadelphia. He drove from Philadelphia to pick me up at JFK because I asked him to. That's service.
Correct.
Yeah.
That is service.
So, yeah, the dom hopping do me sub. That's my
I
pet
agree
peeve.
with you 100% on that. Miss
I
Wynter.
hate to copy what anybody else said. What did you say?
I said not respecting our time.
Mine's neediness. Yeah, I mean, it's part of the do me thing, but it's the consistency of wanting attention all of the time, daily phone calls, upset if they don't hear back from you. Sessions completely revolve around them, and then so does all of your free time. And for me, that's a real issue. And it's better now You know, because I don't see anybody now that I don't know. But even some of my regulars, you know, even some of my regulars are like that. You know, it's a consistency of needing time and attention, and it not really at the very end of a conversation being like, "Oh yeah, how are you?" And that is, for me, that's a thing. And I think that can be a really submissive tendency, you know, where they like to talk about how, you know, how they do everything for us, and in fact, they do very little. Very few subs do anything for you.
Agree.
So they don't.
Even lifestyle subs.
Even lifestyle subs. I have one who's different, and that's like everyone else is pretty much on their time, on their schedule, and about their needs.
Yes.
And that's not service.
That is not
That's
true
just
service.
neediness.
That is just neediness, especially when it's focused on what they want.
Yeah. All the time.
And since when did cuckolding become a service? When? Just, I mean, I know we were only supposed to have one, but it's just a question. How? So
Just in general, about combination.
In general.
Screw the half-hour mark.
I've had people contact me to
2-hour
serve
show
me.
now.
Okay, what are your skills? How can you be of service? I want to be your cuckold. It's not a service.
That's not a service.
We had this fight about
It's not a
sissies the
skill.
other day. How is being a sissy a skill for me? How is that?
We were talking about that.
They constantly get I'm like it's like a barrage. It's the new like dick pic is to ask you, to text you and be like, or message you, DM you, email you, all of it to be like, "Hi, mistress, I'm a sissy. How can I? Do you need a sissy to better your life? Do you need a sissy to help you? Like, how is me telling you how pretty you are and putting you in panties better? Like, what service is that to me? They want nothing else than to be like,
You can
don't
do
I
laundry.
look good?
That's a service.
Right. Do my
No,
laundry.
they want to be sissies. That's it.
Clean
I'm
my
like,
kitchen.
That is not a service.
No.
I'm like, anyone can do that. These sissies are just like, do you need a sissy to better your life? No, I need a slave to better my life.
Yes.
Doesn't matter if you're also a sissy. That's fine. Wherever the fuck you want to do, just get it done.
I love that you tell it exactly how it is. That's awesome. So, all right. So we've have our pet peeves about of submissives. Now this is going to be a loaded question. Keep in mind of where you are. I know.
Out of beer.
I know. So drink your beer, honey. What is a pet peeve about some of your other fellow doms?
Gossip.
Oh, I never answered this one publicly.
Well, you're gonna.
Gossip. Mine is not really knowing what's being said about you behind your back by other mistresses.
Agree.
So for me, that's a thing. And the pro-dom scene it tends to be very backstabby. You know, it's like everyone wants you to succeed, but not as much as they are.
Right.
And if you are succeeding better than them, or well-known, or more skilled, or one of the mistresses who they say, oh, for so-and-so, you know, if you want this done, go see so-and-so. If you're so-and-so, you get talked about behind your back. So there's a lot of, like, gossipy competition, and I don't particularly like it. And so I got to the point, because I've been doing this since the beginning of written history. No, it's fine. It's okay. I'm fine with that. I think I was in I think I'm in the Bible. And then Wynter hit a boy with her stick.
She actually is an honest.
Yeah.
Bitches that name yourself
But
anonymous.
yeah, I was Moses. So yeah.
She came down with the Ten Commandments.
I wonder what that makes
Yeah.
me. I don't really want to know what that makes me.
And I broke him over somebody's head, and then that was the end of. But yeah, so the longer I was in the scene, the less I trusted people, and that was unfortunate.
That's a very
because
unfortunate thing.
because you would think it would be the other way. You would think that you would gain trust and you know, sort of colleagues that, you know. And I have Megan, and I have Elena, and I have you, and that's great. But you're just never sure. You know what I mean? When you say something, how that's going to blow up.
Right.
You know. So yeah.
Well, be careful who you talk to.
Exactly.
For one, but also to counter what you said, be concerned when people stop talking about you. It means you're not relevant anymore.
No, that's not true.
I mean, that's kind of the way I see it.
That's like a PR thing to, you know what I mean? I mean, you know, it's that anything, you know, even if they're talking bad, it's better than nothing at all. That's bullshit. For me, that's bullshit. If they're talking bad about you, I don't want to be a part of it, and then I leave.
Yeah.
So how is that better for me? That makes me decide to become not a part of the scene. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So
I'm not saying that you should engage in it, but
yeah, I've never found that to be a truth. I think that there are a lot of people who have a lot of bad things said about them that are utterly irrelevant.
Agree.
Yeah.
That have
Utterly.
nothing to do with our profession, nothing to do with
I've been
dominance.
lied about. Elena's been lied about.
Yeah, I've
you know.
had a lot of. I have several women out there that will do anything to destroy me, and what's really great is that I've been incredibly lucky and blessed that all of my enemies are much better at destroying their own reputations than they are mine. So the more that they talk bad about me, the more people that come out of the woodwork to be like, you must be an amazing person. I can't wait to meet you. Like, I would love to, like, sit down with you because, God, this terrible person was saying that they hate you.
Right.
So that must mean that you are wonderful. And it's actually done. I've made so many friends through the fact that they're just a few people out there that really don't like me. Although I would much rather they weren't.
Right.
Because it would make my life easier in other areas. But I do have to say that I've gained a lot of friends from the people that are way better at destroying their own reputations than mine.
All right, so these two ladies have answered that question. Let's answer your question. You come on, waiting for you to answer. Come on.
Wynter says what you say is bullshit. That's my that's not at all what I meant. You know what I mean? Right. But people always say that like that's a reality thing. You know what I mean? Like it's better to be talked about. So that wasn't at you. That was at years of people saying that and years of me going, that's not at all the way the world is or should be.
Well,
Yeah,
it's
no,
not the way it should be.
yeah.
But unfortunately, it is sometimes the way it is.
Yeah, and I honestly would
Unfortunately.
prefer they weren't talking about me,
Right.
but
Yeah, but it
I'm
is
lucky.
what it
Makes you relevant?
No, I
That they
prefer
do?
they weren't. No, I'm just lucky that because they are their own careers are going the way that they are, that it's benefited me. I'm very lucky in that degree. And so I don't consider it a good thing. I just happen to get lucky.
Yeah, and I also have to say back to the sub thing, like when subs like try and name drop you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I have one that's
Okay.
doing that now
Yeah.
online. He's
with like real name stuff, like well
Yeah.
you know blah blah blah.
That's- I'm like,
Don't,
no.
why are you?
No, why are you
subs-
opening your mouth?
Whenever I hear
Why
a
are you opening your
submissive
mouth?
use anyone's real name, even if I like know her personally,
And of
like
course.
like
Don't do that.
like you
Don't
and I
do that.
live together.
Okay, I'm
like,
sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I jumped
Yeah.
the shark.
No,
there.
it's okay.
I'm sorry about that. What just reminded me.
Listeners,
that,
we're off the topic. We're way off the topic.
now we're back on the topic.
Okay,
back
back on the topic. What bugs me
I
about other
apologize for being a
doms
dick.
is, I would say not something different than Elena and Wynter. Probably
She hasn't answered the question yet.
Probably
I totally did.
a
She said I
dom
did.
who thinks that they have all of the skills and they couldn't possibly learn something new.
Yeah.
It goes back to what I said before, that I'm still constantly learning.
discussing that. I'm still
There's
learning
a
stuff.
different perspective for everything, and you can always learn something new from another dom.
I learned how to do video today.
So
Alright.
yeah, that humility that we're all really still learning from each other and should be, that a lot of baby doms don't have.
Oh yeah, no, you don't learn that you don't know anything until you're old enough to know that you don't know how to do things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always tell them,
And I will
fuck
tell
this
people
up.
I don't know how to do things. I
Yeah.
will tell people I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to do shibari, and I don't want to know how to do shibari.
Right.
It's a skill set that I don't want to acquire, but I will send them to a friend who does know how to do shibari. Oh, my rope bondage is simple, efficient, and meant to keep your ass down while I do shit to you.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
Not necessarily decorative.
No.
Yeah.
Not
And if it
necessarily.
is decorative,
I
by
got
God,
lucky.
I will
I
take
got
a picture.
lucky. Right. I got lucky.
I will put that shit on social media.
Look what I did.
There'll be a picture on Twitter. Because I'm just saying. I like
it turned out
bondage
pretty.
for- Yeah. I'm
Yeah,
like
that's-
a purposeful bondage.
Yes.
my
not
bondage
a
is literally just like very utilitarian. Just
Yeah,
like, it
mine
gets
as
the
well.
job done.
Yeah, it's like that picture you guys all been liking. You know, it's like with a boy spread, and then like, ooh, that looks really cool, and I'm like, I got lucky. I got lucky.
Yeah.
All right, so come on, answer the question.
Wait, were you finished, Megan?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
finished.
Oh,
you answered
thanks.
the question.
Yeah, I did. I did
No,
answer
you
the
didn't.
question.
No, you didn't. No, you
did.
did. No, she didn't. She piggybacked on winners.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, yes, you do.
No, what I really don't like about a Toms is when they piggyback on other dogs.
Or when they steal your words from your website, bitches. What is that? You can't.
Oh, you know what? This morning I had an incident of actually some slave was on like I hate dominant women that steal someone else's photos.
Or say that they're
They pretend that they're you.
Dominate.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's not what you
I
were
called a
going to say,
bitch
though.
out
Yeah.
online for that.
I'm a
I
dominant
blocked
woman.
it.
No, what does that even mean?
Yeah, there was somebody this morning tweeting at me, like, 'cause he was tweeting apparently about how I was posting pictures of me, and a friend of mine was like, really? Elena's your, and so she tagged me, she's like, Elena's your mistress, really? And I was like, no, and he's like, oh, I think it is, that her hair looks the same, or her sunglasses are the same, but her hair's a little different. And I was like, I'm glad my sunglasses are the defining characteristic in women, but your dog looks the same. And then, like, he started tweeting at me about how he feels he's been catfished, and, like, he was going, so I just muted him after a while and letting him scream into the void. Because then she sent me, he started tweeting, like, her collar space, and, like, I went to her collar space, and not only she's stolen my photo, but the photo she's using is hilarious. It's from last summer when I had a sprained ankle. People were sending me presents because I was laid up for, like, 6 weeks.
Right.
And so it was really great, but I kept getting a lot of shoes, which I couldn't wear with my one ankle and a splint. So I took a photo of, like, a pair of thigh-high boots I got. I put one on the good foot, and then I just had my 2 feet together, and Mogwai's sitting there like, what you doing, Mom? And I like took an Instagram picture of like knee down of this, and that's her profile picture. I was like, yeah, that's my photo, but I'm like, if you're gonna steal my identity, why choose that?
Why choose that photo?
There's your face in it.
Yeah. But I may have plenty of just my feet. Most of them where I'm wearing 2 shoes.
Yeah.
You know, like, why when I'm in a bandage?
Before I took my site down, I would do like a Google search of the first sentence in my
Right.
main paragraph, and I came up with like 120 people who copied my opening website copyrighted paragraph and used it on their own websites.
Don't copy
I'm
us.
like,
We will find out.
But 120 of them? I'm like, are you insane? It was page after page of them. And like, you know, ABB dumps. I'm like, really? What does anything that I say have to do with someone who's doing adult baby as their focus? There's no,
No, it didn't. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't understand the people that do that stuff. I'm like, you're doing yourself a huge disservice. Also, you're pissing me off.
Yeah.
And anyone that I know.
Right.
So, Megan, you
Yes.
need to leave us now.
I do.
All
I need
right.
to bid you adieu.
Yes,
But
you
It's
need.
been a lot of fun.
Would you tell my
Yay.
listeners how to contact you if they want to learn more about you?
Well, you can contact me via my website, which is mistressmeganmccord.com or femdom.nyc. It's femdom.nyc. It'll take you right to my site as well. Follow my Twitter, which is Megan_McCord, Instagram, Megan McCord. Yeah.
Just punch in Megan
of
McCord
those.
and you
Just
got
put
her.
in Megan McCord and
Yeah.
I'm there.
Or you'll find some Irish girl. We don't know.
Google it. Oh yeah, there is that poor woman that people keep tweeting at that hasn't. That's,
Crying
Yeah,
somewhere in
she's like in Oklahoma somewhere, and she.
Please stop
hasn't-
sending me pictures of your dick.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, just Google Megan McCord and
Well,
it'll.
thank you very
it'll
much
be
for
there.
spending
Thank
time. It was
you very
wonderful.
much.
Great to see you.
I'll see you
Wonderful.
I won't see you tomorrow for dinner.
Yes, you will.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes,
For
yes,
the
I will.
Mistress
Tonight for
birthday
dinner
dinner.
you won't see her. Tomorrow
right.
you'll
I
see
don't know.
her.
I might text you guys when I'm done with.
Okay.
the so,
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Well, thank you very
We'll be in
much.
the neighborhood.
My listeners appreciate you taking your time.
Thank you for having me.
Yes. Okay. Bye, ladies.
Bye. Be good. Bye.
Say bye, Mogwai. Say bye, Mogwai.
Bugway's like, where's she
All right,
going?
ladies. Well, we got about. We can talk for as much longer as you want. Because so, Mistress Wynter, please join us.
I'm so broken. Oh, look at your doggy.
He's like, where did Megan go?
That's my friend.
So we were discussing the way the industry has changed since they've started. As
Oh
opposed
God,
to,
I might want to get out of
No,
the
no,
firing
stay where
line
you
here.
are. As opposed to when you and I started.
part of the problem.
No, you're not.
You're the problem. You're individually responsible for anything I'm going to say. It's not true. I'm lying. I'm kidding. She's my friend. Yeah.
What would you say are some of the most prominent? I know my answer. I gave it in a rant. What do you think is some of the most prominent changes we've seen over the last 20 years in our industry?
Well, sort of in the very beginning when I first started this, like sex was a thing, and so you know, the houses, at least in New York, were, you know, pretty much like, well, on the sly stuff that happened, right? And then sort of my cohorts and I as we came in, we're like, yeah, that's not cool. And we worked really, really hard, right, to take sex out of the picture, right, and to make it a mental and physical game, but not one in which, you know, your orgasm is the preeminent reason in which we are in the room. And cuckolding was never, that wasn't even a
word.
That wasn't even a word even asked about that. No, yeah, like
what's that?
Personal. That's a personal, private lifestyle thing. That is not a professional thing.
and that's changed, and I think that has a lot to do with, you know, sort of like the onset of media and, you know, the crossover between, you know, clips and, well, I just do that in clips, and yeah, of course he, you know, he might have eaten my pussy out for, you know, for an hour and 20 minutes, but that's different for you. But I want you to look at somebody else doing it for you know, an excessive period of time, and then if you ask me about it, I'm going to be so very offended, and that to me is a real issue, right? So there's the boundaries.
Disagree.
Yeah, the boundaries have loosened in a way that I became, you know, sort of irritated by. You know, it's like, I don't want to tell anybody else ever again that no, that's not going to happen, right? So that for me became a thing. But that's, you know, that's sort of like the, you know, the porning of domination, right? And that's a lot of what happened, I think. So for me, that was a really big issue. You know, I think that there was, there's less intent behind words. You know, I think that doms say a lot of things because there are so many social media outlets in which to say them that they don't think about the ramifications of what's being said, and I think that subs do the same thing now. So they'll just blurt out whatever crosses their mind and sort of throw it at you, and then, like you said, you know, you mute them and then they have to scream that into the void. But the fact is that because there used to be more consideration around communication, that subs were significantly more respectful of your boundaries because they had to think about it before they assaulted you with their penis fantasies.
Right. And they had to take time to think about it because it wasn't immediate communication.
And you had time to respond to them. And now it's like, if you don't get back in 20 minutes, fuck you, I'm off to the next.
Oh, it's exactly what happened with one of the
I
guys here.
Yeah.
He's like, well, you didn't get back to me within an hour and a half. And
I've
I'm not in a session with you.
I've gotten angry emails like 10 minutes out. I'll get like, and I'm not always sitting at my computer answering, and I know I have a smartphone, but I'm like, sometimes I'm sitting with my friends doing things like this.
Exactly.
And like, I've gotten emails where I got an email, like a polite, nice session request. I didn't answer it within 10 minutes, and then I got a barrage of like, well, fuck you, and fuck the horse you fucking rode in
who do
on.
you think
like,
you are?
Yeah,
and
like,
not all that.
whatever, da-da-da.
Exactly.
And that's, I mean, and for me, that's not a communication style that's appropriate for anyone. Yeah. But it
No matter
certainly
what.
isn't. Yeah,
Especially if
you
you're
know,
submissive.
we seem to have lost our social skills somewhere in the process.
Our manners.
Yeah. And I think that that's a real, you know, problem. And because there are enough people who have been trained in the, you know, in sort of social media as opposed to, you know, like real training, right? And not just subs, but also a lot of doms who are doms because they put a picture up and said so, right?
We talked about that earlier.
Yeah,
Right. So, you know, because there are a lot of people whose only communicative skill is, you know, 140 characters or less, they are not encouraging sort of, you know, manners and proper behavior. You can't insist that someone, you know, address you correctly and, you know, by your honorary title and blah, 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 in 140 characters or less. So it's Mistress, can I see your feet?
Right.
No. Right? And so this is not, you know, there's a lot of that. There's a lot of demanding that goes on, and a lot of mistresses who think that they deserve things because they've said that they're somebody, when in fact, as a sub earns respect, so does a mistress. You
Correct.
saying that you deserve respect, nobody deserves it. Right.
No, it's earned.
I mean, we deserve it across the board as humans.
As humans.
Yeah.
As humans first, yes.
But
then as a
in
dom,
terms of well, you know
That's
who I
something
am.
different.
No,
I don't know who you are, and I don't really care because I
Right.
don't know you.
Right. And so
You're not
I don't have
a
to
friend.
I don't have to send you money for tweeting at you. I just mute, right? So if someone tweets me and I don't like it, I mute them.
Yeah.
Right? I don't demand that they pay my bills.
Yeah,
Because they irritated me.
This guy was saying he like gave this girl that's fake me a debit card or something. He sent her money, and someone was like, "You should pay her," and I'm like, "No,
Why?
no." I'm like,
No.
"Just go away.
Just go away.
Just go
But
away."
it's
Go away.
that, and I think that the problem is beyond SM. I think it's this, you know, this sort of, this recently developed idea that everyone has and deserves ultimate and complete total respect, and that and that if you aren't treated the way you want to be treated, then you have the right to intrude on that person's life, livelihood, and being.
Correct.
Right, and that's
be
not,
very negative about it,
Yeah.
and very bitchy about it.
Right, and talk about them, and and because I couldn't pick up the phone or didn't want
To pick up the phone.
Yeah.
I don't have to pick up
Or
the
I
phone.
was doing something else and didn't
Right.
have time to answer your
Right,
email
but even
at that time.
but more than that, I don't have to do it right now.
Right.
Right? You're not actually the boss of me. Right? And the fact that you may potentially at some point in the future think about considering the idea of maybe doing a session with me, and therefore and accordingly in 6 to 8 months you may or may not decide to give me a modicum amount of money for the extraordinary effort that I put into this relationship, does not in fact mean that I owe you an answer on the phone call.
Yeah.
Correct.
Was that just a lot of words to say, fuck
you.
come
Yeah.
on?
Yeah, it was. But that's okay.
But I mean, that's
really
really how
valid.
it is. I mean, that's really it. But it's like, well, one day I might session with you. Really?
Well, thank you. I
Right,
appreciate you
well,
doing me that favor.
right.
Or I hate when they've called you a night flirt. Now they feel that they can use all your other means of contact because they
Yeah.
paid for your interaction once. Like
that one time.
that whole $2.99 a minute that they paid me for that whole 3 minutes. Now they feel like we're
Yeah.
best friends.
We're
They
best
will
friends.
contact me whoever they want. So I'm like, every so often, like I have a few PSAs I'll put out on Twitter, like I'm your mistress, not your friend. Like. Things like that, like you're not allowed to. Like one of my biggest pet peeves is that everywhere you can find my phone number, anywhere my phone number is written, next to it, below it, above it, right there within
There's
the line.
phone hours.
It says text messages will not be
Right.
answered. So whenever I get a text message, I completely ignore it.
Right,
And then I'll
delete it.
usually get the like, mistress, what's the matter? What the fuck? Fuck you, bitch, And they'll go on and I never respond.
Right.
And so if I find I'm getting a lot of them, every so often I'll just take a screenshot of my website and I'll post it online and be like, if you text me and I don't respond, it's because I assume you're illiterate.
I've read that.
If
I saw
they
you
could
posted.
not
I like
read that. Yeah, I'm like, I have
Like
to do
that.
it like every couple months.
Yeah.
I have to remind them, like, because if you couldn't read that, why should I assume you can read the response I send you?
Exactly. I just delete them. Unless it's someone who I've given specific permission to that's been with me before,
Yeah, of
is in
course.
service to me. You have
Oh,
permission
even
to
that, I'm
text
like,
me.
no. I'm like, you still have to email me. And it's funny because
Yeah.
sometimes they'll be like scheduling whatever and it'll be like, but I'm parked outside. I'm like, I don't care.
I don't care.
Send me a fucking email.
If you give
I'm
me,
like,
if I give you
it comes
permission to
my
text
phone.
me, if I give you direct permission, then that's okay.
Yeah.
Otherwise, don't text me because I'm just going to delete you.
Yeah, I'm like, I never give the permission because I'm like, I don't want to open the door. It's Pandora's box right there. I'm like, nope. No.
Lifestyle slaves.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like,
Yeah,
even
and
lifestyle
that's-
slaves, they still have to email me.
Oh no.
You are such a
They-
hard ass.
I have my
Damn.
rules and I stick to them.
I thought you didn't like rules.
No, I have my rules. I shouldn't have to follow rules.
Okay, there we go.
Anyone that serves me should have to follow rules. Dominant women, yeah, we should do what we feel comfortable with because we're dominant. Like, we shouldn't have to listen to someone else, but I mean, we also shouldn't fuck up what we're doing. Like,
Right.
don't be a rectangle when you say you're a square, you know what I mean? Like,
And I like to also say, I think that's something that's really important that women tend not to do is apologize when they make a mistake.
Yeah.
And I think it's really important to have because you have to have integrity, right? The thing you have to do, it's like all the respect that people think that they deserve. If you don't show integrity towards your clients and towards your business and towards,
Right.
Yourself. And there are a lot of people who will just not admit that, yeah, you know what? I totally messed that up and I'm sorry about that. Mm-hmm. I didn't realize that this was going to be happening. I didn't but
And I've said that.
Well, but
When I'm
you
in,
have to, just like in anything else, if you make a mistake, being dominant doesn't mean you're perfect. It means that you're a dominant.
Right.
Right. But there are times, when, and I have to say, I don't blow off sessions. I can't remember maybe once 20 years ago blowing off a session, and that's because I was working at like a house and I didn't go into work that day. Right. So that was the only way it ever happened. Otherwise I don't. Right. I always give them at least 24 hours notice like I expect.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
And if I don't, then I will make it up to them. But it's surprising that is not reciprocated. That people will try and cancel on you 20 minutes before your session. I would never do that.
Yeah.
Right. Or I had, or just, it's just like, for me, everything really comes down to sort of like a basic respect, right? We're 50% of this team. Because if there weren't subs crawling to me to get caned, I would have to cane my couch, and that's just not
And that's not
easy
fun.
at all.
Swinging it.
Yeah,
in the air.
right. Whee! That's no fun.
Right. So I mean, I understand, right? It's like I'm 50% of this, but I'm the important 50%, right? I'm heads in your tails.
I'm the head. I'm the first.
Right.
This is number 1. This is number 2.
But I will always acknowledge if I've made an error, right? And
If I
And what I hate is that when you do that, if you acknowledge you've made an error or apologize, the attitude that then you're not dominant is the dumbest thing in the world to me. When people
I'm more dominant because I did.
yeah, because I'm
because I can
confident.
understand, yeah, and I can take that in stride. Like I fucked up, I can admit my mistakes, I can handle myself in that respect.
Right.
It has always bothered me, that idea that like if I'm nice to people, I'm not dominant, and I'm like, I don't run through the subways hitting people with crops.
Yeah.
Like I only
cool to see though.
But I'm like, it's about consent.
Correct.
Me being mean to someone who has not consented to me being mean just makes me a bitch,
Yes.
not a dominant.
Which
like,
is one of the
there's-
things that I tell people who are starting out.
Yeah.
Bitch is not the same as dumb.
No, they always get Dom syndrome, and they
Yes.
just, everyone they meet, they feel that they need to, like,
Yes.
put that bravado on, and you're like, calm the fuck
Calm
down, Missy.
Calm down. Don't be bitchy with me because it isn't going to work.
Yeah,
I'll
I've had
bitch
other,
your ass.
Well, I've had
but
other
it
dominant
doesn't
women
work.
be like, I didn't think that you were actually an alpha woman because you're so nice, and I'm like,
What does it have to
because
do with
I
anything?
respect you as
Right.
a person, I'm pleasant with you. I'm not going to walk in and tell you, hang up my coat, pour me water. Like,
Right. But we've
another
all
woman
seen women who
that
do that. We've
Yes.
seen them at DomCon.
Oh, we've seen them everywhere.
We've seen them everywhere.
Yeah.
Where they think that is the persona, and there are men that are attracted to that.
Yeah.
I don't get that. Doesn't work with me.
Well, I have lots of men that don't understand it. We were telling you the other day, Megan and I were telling you the story about, we were talking about the other day, when I got recognized on the Upper West Side, when her and I were like going to the thing, and then, so in the liquor store, I was buying a bottle of wine, and because her and I were going to the park. Yeah, well, we were going to watch The Shining in the
bottle
park.
of wine, no.
So I was like, you bring the blanket, I'll get a bottle of wine. And so I ran into a store to grab a bottle of wine, and so I just ran straight to the back for the cooler, and which happened to be near the counter. And there was a guy in line, and I went just past him to go to the cooler. And he was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I didn't realize I cut you. And I was like, you didn't. I wasn't in line. It's fine. I'm like, I'm still getting my item.
Right.
And he was like, I'm really sorry. And I was like, no, it's totally fine. You're cool. Don't worry about it. Like, it was nice, right? So the next day, I get an email like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I was just so flustered when I saw you. I didn't know what to do. I should have bought your bottle of wine. I wish you had told me to. And I'm like, why was I going to tell a random man in the store?
Right.
That just makes me. I was like, that explains why you were so
That explains why
apologetic
you
for
were
not
so-
actually
right.
cutting me.
Right.
Like,
And you were just there buying a bottle of wine. I'm like,
Yeah,
I'm not really
I'm like-
paying attention to who you are.
yeah, exactly. I'm like, I didn't notice you. Like, but I was just gonna tell him to buy my bottle of wine. I'm like,
Right.
and he was like, I just didn't expect you to be so nice. I'm like, because we're not. This is
I'm not an
not.
exception.
Yeah,
You're not my slave. You're
You
just a
didn't
person.
pay
Just
for
a
me to be mean
person.
to you. I'm a professional. I have to either really like you, and I don't know you, so I can't do that yet, or you're paying me. Like, either I have to have a connection with you, or you're paying me
Right.
for me to be mean to you.
Yeah, that's it. Those are the two things.
You know, every once in a while I'm mean to someone for free, but generally not.
And usually
if I'm
because they
really
pissed
nice
you
to
off.
you, yeah, if I'm really nice, it usually means either I don't know you or I really don't like you.
I really don't like you.
So I don't take the time to be honest with you.
No, if I'm really nice to somebody, yeah, I don't like them.
Yeah.
My husband and I turn away, and he's like, you really don't like that person. I'm like, nope.
Nope. Not at all.
Not at all. Not at all. So we need to start wrapping it up, ladies. Just because my battery has decided to go blah. But I want to take the chance to talk to Wynter a little bit.
Sure.
No, do not.
Oh.
Sit.
Oh,
Go.
thought you wanted a little alone
no,
time. Okay.
No.
A little alone
no,
time.
no. I don't know. Do we want a little alone time? We're too tired. We'll probably take a nap.
I'm very
right?
sleepy.
So I need to
I'm
stay here
very
and keep you
sleepy.
guys
Just stay
awake
here.
is what I need to do.
Exactly.
I'm like, I'll leave you a puppy.
Just poke at me
Yeah, I
if you
should
see
have
me
said, leave
drifting.
me a puppy.
So yes.
So Wynter, what was, you're partially retired now? Fully retired?
No, I'm retired.
Okay.
I mean, I say that. There are a couple of clients who I still see, mostly because they absolutely cannot imagine a moment in their life when I'm not the person that they come to. I purposely try to steer them in other directions to which they have, responded quite badly. So there are a couple of people that I still see. But it's, you can't make an appointment with me. You can't just go, and the emails are consistent still. right? Like I've been very clear, right? I closed my dungeon. I am doing something else. It's great. I'm happy. I'm super contented. I don't have time or the emotional energy
Yeah, it takes so much
to
emotional
devote,
energy.
to doing this because emotionally I'm vested elsewhere.
Right.
But I still have like my clients that I play with and my personals that I play with, and those people are those people are part of my life. That's
Right.
not
Those
the
are
same
relationships.
Thing.
Those are
Yeah,
not
those
the
are
same
relationships.
Thing. Right.
So that will continue. But in terms of everybody else, sorry,
Tough shit. You
had-
missed out.
you had 23 years, you
23 years.
bastards.
Sorry.
Seriously, I've been around.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now
So- We've kind of followed the same path.
Yeah.
What would you say was the best thing about your career? I mean, given I'm still in it, but what would
how
you say?
awesome I was.
You're always awesome.
It's true. She was really
Well,
awesome.
here's I think
She's still
think
awesome.
that I think that.
But what did it give you? What did it give you after 23 years?
I think it gave me a greater understanding of myself.
Yeah.
It gave me an ability to understand my own boundaries and be firm about them. I met a lot of fantastic people. I met some not at all fantastic people, but I met a lot of really great people and very cool people. And I have real friends that I've gotten, that I've met because, you guys, real friends that I know if something happened, I'd be like, all right, come save me, and I get saved.
Yeah.
Right? People who I got to travel, they come take care of my cat, right? So, I mean, it's like things like that. So I have real friends, but I think that the thing that it did for me more than anything else was make me comfortable in my skin, genuinely comfortable. It's I think that if you do this and you do it well and you do it because you're supposed to, right? Not because what am I going to do for money? I'm going to be a dom, right? Yeah, this is a terrible reason to be a dom.
Awful reason
No.
to be done. That's the you don't do that.
It's a terrible
Don't
reason.
ever do it for the money.
It greatly influenced
You'll make
my
money.
own confidence. It influenced my friendships. It influenced a lot of things. So it just sort of filled out the person that I was going to be more quickly and more definitively than would have happened without it.
I can see that and agree with that.
Yeah.
So we have. Here I go again with that word "younger." You want to hear
These
me?
kids with their
I know,
tech
these kids with the
sessions.
tech sessions. What the hell? So, what advice would you give Elena?
That she hasn't already.
That she hasn't already. That I haven't
Right?
double given it to her. Right. Or not even Elena. Just other young doms that may be wanting to put their toe into this profession.
Don't do anything for money that you wouldn't do for free. So if you wouldn't let that stranger from the street watch you get fucked by your boyfriend, don't do it for money. Okay? If you wouldn't do it because you like it, don't do it because someone's paying you.
Right.
Because what that does to you and how you feel about yourself, because when you get up in the morning, there's only one person looking back. Right? And you have to look at yourself every day. The second that you start selling yourself because you need, I want more clients. I'm not the most popular dom in whatever city you're in. The second that you do that, then you just start to go downhill. There's a reason people retire quickly in this business.
There is.
And it's because they don't
Stick
keep,
to themselves. They don't to themselves.
they're not true to themselves.
Not true to ourselves.
Right. So that's my thing. Don't do anything for cash that you wouldn't do anyway.
That's a great piece of advice.
Thank you.
I completely agree. My first dungeon, a lot of times, really pushed us to do things that were not domination. And I would constantly be told, you'd have more clients if you did this. And I'm like, yes, and I'd have more money right now if I did that thing. But then I would start to hate myself because I'm doing things I'm not comfortable with.
Right.
And then I would quit my job, and then I'd have no money.
Right.
So I feel like I'm better long term if I don't.
And
You
that's-
are.
and
You're
that's
definitely
the
better
thing.
long term.
Yeah, and
Sticking
I'm
to your
this is why
boundaries.
we're
Boundaries
friends.
are important.
Yeah.
Boundaries
Yeah.
are very important.
Well,
in
and
this
also,
industry.
boundaries.
if this is what you want to do, you have to look beyond this week.
Yes.
You have to look into the future. You have to think about
A
longevity.
year, 5 years, which
Right.
you are very good at.
And my 5-year plan.
You have your 5-year plan, which is very good.
Right. So so I think think about what when you hit the point that I have hit, which is when you're retired but still not I'm still a part of the scene because I am, but
Right.
I'm retired.
Always will be, but
but the thing is when you get to that point when you've done this for a long time, what are people going to say about you when you're done?
correct. What is your
And
legacy?
that
What is your
matters.
message going
And
to
if
be? And it
you're-
makes a difference.
And if your legacy was, I could do anything I wanted to with her, is that a legacy that you want to leave?
No.
Is
or
that
she
what you
really helped
want?
me over that issue I had,
Right.
or she really helped me accept myself.
Right.
Which when
Or
I
she
have
was
clients
great.
that
She
say
was-
that,
yeah, exactly.
that makes my job
And when other
worth
doms-
it after this many years.
And if
to hear
other
that.
doms list you as a dom to look up to,
Right.
then that means a lot. And if other doms are like, well, she'll fuck you anyway,
All right.
Yeah.
right? That's not.
That's not.
So look toward your legacy. Look towards being a name that people respect when you're done, not one that they
And that your
loathe.
submissives have learned and grown, and you've left them better.
Yeah, and they won't leave you no matter what you do.
Exactly. You're stuck with us.
Yeah. Oh my God, you're so stuck.
So let's wrap this up, ladies, before my
Okay.
battery goes crazy. Elena, I want to talk a little bit, like 2 seconds.
Okay.
A little bit about
1001.
Yeah, I know. I'm just terrified it's gonna die. Your new video venture.
Oh, Fascist
Can you
Femdom.
tell my listeners about it?
Yes, Wynter is part of
I
my
was one of your
Fascist
first
Femdom.
peoples.
Yes, she
You
was
lucky
one
girl.
of the few people that actually shot for it before I launched.
Yeah, yeah.
Everyone else went, yeah, military sounds great. Then show up and be like, I didn't bring any military. I don't want to.
I came prepared today.
Yes, well, yeah. Once I launched, everyone came out of the woodwork, and it got to a point where it was actually a little overwhelming. I was like, I just don't have the time. I can't. I love you all. But yeah, Fascist Femdom is. It's basically the idea it takes place in my femdom country, the nation of Ms. DeLuca, or nation of MD for short, and where women are allowed to do whatever they please, whatever makes them happy. For dominance, I generally like to tell them to do, when people always say, what kind of scene do you want? And I'm like, what do you enjoy?
Right.
What do you love doing? What do you feel like you don't get to do often? What do you, what are your skills? I want you to showcase yourself, your personality, and your skill set on it. And I don't want it to be like, when I shop for other companies and they're like, all right, we
need
know that
this
you're,
video,
you're
we
good
need
for this, so
right.
you're going to do that.
Right.
So I want it to be like, do what makes you happy and enjoy yourself, because I feel like if women are enjoying themselves, it'll come out better.
It does.
And-
if we're not having a good time, you can tell.
Exactly. And also, it's a great place to showcase everyone's different style. If I direct it too much, then it's my style. I might as well shoot it myself. So it's a magical land of dominance.
I like that.
Doing whatever they
Which
please.
we're all joining.
Yeah, it's a militarized femdom country. Men are nothing but livestock and toys to be played with. And women can do whatever they please. And if that means they want to bottom, they can bottom. If they want to be a top, they want, whatever. Whatever makes them happy, whatever excites them, that's what they get to do.
So how does someone find that, get a hold of you? Could you give your information to my listeners?
Yes. Well, you can find anything that I'm related to is on nydominatrix.com. For Fascist Femdom specifically, you can go to fascistfemdom.com to get the clips. There will eventually be a member site, but probably next year.
Okay.
If you email fascistfemdom@gmail.com, you can contact me about it. Fascist Femdom has a Twitter, an Instagram, a Tumblr, all at Fascist Femdom.
Thank you very much for joining me today.
Thanks for having me.
Had a great, I'll have you anytime, baby. I had a great time talking to you, and I hope my listeners will. Wynter,
Yep.
I don't know what to say about you. You're one of one of my favorite people, my best buddies.
Thank you. I know, same. And yeah,
And those
I'm-
submissives who didn't get a chance to play with you are fucked.
people aren't smart.
They are not
No.
smart.
No,
They should
and
have.
and I'm getting a lot of the regret stuff now. Like, oh, I wish I would have. Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, then you should have.
Now.
I was like, yeah, I
Right.
was I was
Where were you
here in
last
the
year?
beginning.
Right.
Yeah.
The Bible, look at it.
Yes, Moses.
At the dawn of time,
So,
there was winter.
I will miss having you in that group of us that are
Yeah, I know. Yeah, the playing
know.
group. But
Yeah, I will
I'll
miss-
always be
no.
in the coffee clutch group.
Yes,
so
you
there
will.
is that.
You're not allowed to leave.
No.
So, I would have I would have you tell my listeners how to get a hold of you, but
They can follow me on Twitter.
they
They,
can
just
follow
can't
you on
session
Twitter.
with me.
Yep, and follow
Mistress
her. 'Cause-
Wynter. Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. So that's it. That's all you need to know about me.
Winter with a Y.
Winter with a Y, not an I.
You better know that. Oh my God.
That's
if you
why I
don't
won't
know
spell
that-
fascist for anyone. I'm
No.
like, if you don't know how to spell it, I don't even want you.
All right. Thanks,
Okay.
guys.
Yep, I want to get this done before it goes bye-bye.
Okay.
Winter, we do need to talk more later. Elena, I'm sure
Oh my
we'll have
God.
a second one. And listeners, this has been one of the best coffee clutches with three of my favorite ladies and good friends. So thank you for joining Femdom Mystique, and look for my rant probably on on scheduling with a professional coming up. Thank you very much.